Sorry about this lighting. I'm using my phone flashlight to add some more light because this room is just so dark. Anyway, there's also construction going on in this house next door. They never stop. So sorry if you can hear that. Anyway, I'm wearing my Arizona shirt because I'm still in Arizona. Our move got delayed a little bit, just by a couple weeks. So we are still here. It was pretty easy to push everything back. So luckily that wasn't too hard. I mean, everything was going so smoothly with our move. I'm not surprised. Something was bound to go wrong, but that's all right. We're just rolling with it. And right now I'm gonna go to the dentist. I'm so excited to go to the dentist. Actually, ever since I was little, I hate going to the dentist, but I'm really happy because it's been like 8 months since my last cleaning, and apparently your gums become more sensitive, or can become more sensitive when you're pregnant. And I definitely think that's been happening to me. And I also have been so stuffy at night. I just breathe all through my mouth and my whole mouth is just dry in the morning. It feels like it's cracking. And I just feel like that's not the best for my mouth. So yeah, I'm excited to go. More pregnancy updates though is I'm almost 18 weeks, which is exciting. I have been gaining weight, which surprisingly now I feel like better about. When I was, because my belly's like getting a little more round now. I'll show you guys in a bit. When it was just kind of like I was getting a little more pudgy. I didn't really like it. I was complaining about it more, but now it's totally fine with me, so that's nice. Otherwise, I've been feeling really good and normal. At nighttime, my belly gets a little bigger. Obviously, after eating and everything, it's like kind of hard to maneuver around because my belly's never been that big. That's been kind of fun and interesting new experience. I didn't know how that would feel, I guess. My chest is huge now, which is good, I guess. So everything's getting prepared to make milk for my baby. Hopefully I can breastfeed. My clothes is starting to not fit anymore. So far, like my regular tops can, but like this top used to fit me a little looser, like just in general everywhere. And now it's pretty snug. So I am going to have to get some new clothes. I don't want to get too many, but I do want to get some. I've found some pants. I think if I get a size medium, they'll stretch and fit enough for my belly, hopefully. They'll be able to, they have an elastic waistband, so maybe I'll still be able to wear them afterwards. So we'll see. But so far, I've just been managing with the same shirts I have. I'm probably going to get a few dresses because those are just going to be the easiest. Oh, another something that I wanted to talk about is that lately I've been challenging my mindset because I don't really like extreme mindsets. I don't like labeling things. I don't find it to be productive. And it makes everything be like black and white, but life isn't black and white. So this is what I've learned. I'm going to tell you guys my little journey. It's going to be about extreme mindsets. So in high school, I would drink soda, eat a bunch of junk food, not work out. Obviously, that's not a good combo. Even now, if I do that as an adult, I can feel the impact it has on my mindset, on my mental state. Like, even just as a teenager, that's probably even 10 times worse. Anyway, I stopped drinking soda when I was in high school, and that was the kickoff of slowly, it took several years, but slowly I started eating more and more healthy, and then I started working out after that. And now it's just my lifestyle that I eat. I try to eat, pretty healthy or home-cooked meals, what I deem to be healthy, which is part of this convo. And if you guys are around my age and watch YouTube, which I'm assuming most of you are, you probably saw that popularity of vegan, people going vegan, like having vegan YouTube channels. And then there, a couple years ago, a lot of them announced that they were not going to be vegan anymore. And it's funny because they get so much hate from people that are claiming to like want peace on earth and love everyone and love the animals, and they're getting so much hate. But first of all, my point, like, I don't feel any certain way about veganism. I have friends that are vegan. It's fine. For a while, I wasn't eating meat or buying meat, but this is why. Because with that, I did research that, you know, like how animals are treated in the dairy and meat industry, and they're just straight up abused. If you're getting like typical just readily available meat at the grocery store, like they're probably coming from places where they're not the best treated. I'm not saying every single person mistreats their animals like that, but for the majority. And it's just not a good life for the animal. So I stopped eating it because I'm like, I don't want to participate in that. But I don't think that eating meat is wrong. I think people should eat meat, but I think that if you're getting meat, ideally, and I know not everyone can do this, but ideally you have your own cow or your own farm or something, or buy locally, because the animals are going to be better taken care of and they're not going to be like straight up abused like some of these, you know, sadly corporations do, or like bigger farms. And I'm not saying like the owner of the farm is intentionally doing it, but employees, and you know, it's a big operation. So anyway, so I stopped eating meat for a while, but now obviously I eat meat more often. And then now that I've been reading the Bible more, God says that we have domain over the animals, like we are the rulers of the earth, the humans, and that we're like on top of the chain of the world, and that's what how God ordered it to be. So that means we should eat meat. Obviously you don't have to if you don't want to, but it's not something our bodies are designed to do it. It's fine. But I don't think that gives us the right to like be abusing the animal. But like, let's say I have a farm, and this is my dream, right? To have a farm, and I'll take care of my cow, and then sadly, it will get, you know, killed one day, and we'll eat it. But I know that cow had a good life. It was happy. It was loved, and it wasn't mistreated, which I think is the best of both worlds. Because I don't think animals should be mistreated, especially if they're going to be food. We should be respecting the animals that are going to be our food. It's actually very sacred. They're being sacrificed for us, but that's how God ordered it to be, so it's okay. Anyway, so that was one thing I challenged myself, but it's funny because what triggered this thought in my mind was sunscreen, of all things. Because in the mix of doing all that research with the eating healthy and all of that came all the chemicals and artificial fragrance and things like that, and how it interrupts your endocrine system and yada yada yada. So basically I would only ever use zinc sunscreen, which zinc sunscreen is a little harder to rub in. I have fairer skin, so it's pretty easy for me. And I would always get like a tinted sunscreen. You guys know this. SkinCeuticals tinted sunscreen is my favorite sunscreen. Anyway, so I've been on a hunt to find a different, more affordable option before I really am like, okay, this SkinCeutical ones is the one I'm going to repurchase forever. I do want to try the Elta MD one, but anyway. So I've recently wanted to start wearing sunscreen on my body, especially like my neck and chest. I have to go soon. Especially my neck and chest, right? And I was thinking about the zinc sunscreen is so hard. It's like tinted. I'm not going to put tinted sunscreen on my neck and my chest. That's ridiculous. So I'm like, okay, I need to get a sunscreen that works well. And I was having a hard time finding one. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to have to get a chemical sunscreen, which there used to be a chemical in most chemical sunscreens that was bad. But now most companies don't use it because it was found to be pretty bad. Okay, but it's not really used anymore. And with any chemical in sunscreen, you can find articles saying it's good, it's bad. Basically, I watched this video from Dr. Dre. She's a dermatologist, and she was going over the studies that they find saying that these certain ingredients are bad, and she said that you would literally have to like layer it on and saran wrap your whole body and lay in the sun for 4 hours for it to, you know, become toxic. And most people aren't saran wrapping themselves in sunscreen and sitting out in the sun. But I was having such a hard time letting go of it, and I was like, well, I'll just not use a different sunscreen. And then the ones that are mineral sunscreens that are easily rub in for the body are so expensive. And I'm like, okay, no, this is unreasonable. And I started to challenge my mindset. I'm like, I have to just be okay with using this chemical sunscreen. Like, I'm gonna be fine. It's fine. And it's funny because I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, me included, I'm people that have I'm gonna eat natural, oh, this window is open, I can close this and have it not be so loud, but I'm gonna eat natural and have all this natural stuff. We're like, think we're living life as it's intended to, which in a way we are. But then I'm not a fan of fear mongering either. So just how there's fear mongering on, you know, both sides of any argument, I feel like I was getting fear mongered into not using a chemical sunscreen. And anyway, it sounds so dumb, but I'm telling you guys, I had such a hard time letting go of this idea that I'm not going to use a all mineral sunscreen, and that I'm going to be putting a chemical on my body on a daily basis, which is in the form of a chemical sunscreen. And it's honestly not that big of a deal. And the reason I was looking for a body sunscreen is because I'm moving nearby a lake, so I'm going to be out in the sun all the time, and I'm not trying to get wrinkles all over, so I'm going to put sunscreen on my body. And it's fine, it's not that big of a deal, but I had such a hard time with it. So anyway, I had another thought too, is that there's like a happy medium, because I also, in all of that research, especially when I was younger, I used to want to be a doctor, and I was researching how a lot of medicine, pharmaceuticals, is really hard on your liver, which is true. It is hard on your liver. When I was really young, probably before I was 20, I decided I'm not going to be taking a lot of medicines unless I really need them. So I stopped taking like cold medicine, allergy medicine. I just was like, no medicine, which is fine, because that's when I started to learn about our body's like natural immune system and how our body like naturally heals itself. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna let my body do its thing, which I do think is a good mindset to have, and I still have that mindset. But also I'm leaning towards an extreme mindset now. It got to the point where I would never take medicine. Anyway, I've never had a headache. I've probably had 4 headaches in my whole life. Recently I've been getting a lot of headaches in my pregnancy, and it's pretty common. It's because your body's producing so much blood. If you're not drinking enough water, you can easily get a headache. I can talk about that later, but I've been getting headaches. So specifically, because I know it's because you can get prone to headaches in pregnancy because you're not drinking enough water, because like your body has just doubled its blood volume. This is my happy medium I have found, and I'm trying to have this approach with a lot of things. So I have a headache. That's the issue. I'm not going to be extreme and take a medicine like a Tylenol 5 minutes into having a headache. Okay, I don't believe that's a good thing either. But also, I'm not going to not take one at all if I continue to have a headache. So my first line of defense will probably be drink water, have some salt, because a lot of times you can have headaches if you're low in salt. And I always tell Gunnar, anytime he has any sort of ailment, I'm like, you should drink a glass of water and have some salt, because it really can fix so many things. Especially because we live in the desert still currently, so it's really hot. You can get dehydrated, but anywhere. So that's my first line of defense, is to drink a glass of water. I'll have some salt. Maybe I'll drink some water again. If I still have a headache, I might eat something and see if it goes away. And then after a few hours, after I've tried a few of my natural remedies, which actually most of the time my headache goes away. So that's great. But in case it doesn't, then I'm okay with taking like a Tylenol, which is the only medicine you can take while you're pregnant, by the way, for pain. So you guys see like where the happy medium is? Like, I'm not being super extreme and like taking medicine right away, but I'm also going to like take it if I've already tried a couple things and they didn't work. And I think that is a good approach. It might sound silly or kind of obvious, but it's just like I put myself in these really extreme mindsets, and it's kind of like a mental prison in its own way. But I'm learning to be okay with, okay, I did my best to try all of my natural remedies, and most of the time they do work. But so in the cases that when they don't work, I feel good. I feel good about taking a medication because I know I already tried the things and I know that they usually do work, but in this instance they're not working, so it's okay. And I'm just trying to have that mindset more, because I cut out, in that midst of all of those things, like in my early 20s, I cut out using a lot of artificial fragrance. I threw away my perfumes. I didn't use perfume for almost 10 years. I didn't use body spray, perfume, anything. I avoided everything fragrance. And a couple years ago, I think 2 years ago, I got a perfume because I found a perfume I really liked. I just happened to smell it at Sephora, and I was like, this is so dumb. I'm going to get this perfume. It's going to be fine. I'm not going to drench myself in it all day, every day, because fragrance, some people are more sensitive to it, some of us not so much. But life is so short, and when I'm 80, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm glad I never used my favorite perfume. I'm going to be like, okay, that was dumb. I should have used my perfume and it was fine. Like, if I start to have any issues, because this is the thing, if you guys are in the loop with this, which I'm sure most of you guys have heard of all this stuff, but your endocrine system controls your hormones, and your hormones really control like a lot of things in your body. So if your hormones are out of whack, your whole body can be out of whack, which obviously is really important. So yes, if your hormones are out of balance, it's probably a good idea to cut out the fragrance and eat healthier and all of these things. But if you're doing pretty good, I feel like it's okay to enjoy those simple things, like simple pleasures of life, which is like a perfume, which you guys, I know this can sound so silly and so simple and like duh, but I'm telling you guys, I was avoiding everything for years. Like, I didn't have a single perfume or body spray. I threw them all away, wouldn't take medicine. It was really extreme. So now I'm finding a happy balance, because I do still believe all those things are helpful. And if I ever start to feel like, oh, this is too much perfume or something, then, you know, I can cut back on it. But it's also like not a big deal if I use a perfume when I go out to a date with my husband or for a special event or something, you know, like I don't use perfume every single day, which I think is fine now, but I'm still not going to do it. But I do think on occasion, for a special occasion, once or twice a week, sometimes I don't wear it for a month, but I think it's okay, like, to do it every once in a while, because I used to not do it at all ever, which is so extreme. And same thing with candles. I threw out all my candles, and I didn't buy candles for so long, but the Bath & Body Works scented leaves scented candle is my favorite candle ever. Last year, or when I moved into my apartment by myself, I got myself some Bath & Body Works candles. I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. I'm not going to burn them all day, every day. But I have them for whenever I'm like having a cozy night in and I just want to set the ambiance in the room and have a scented candle. It's fine every once in a while. You guys see what I'm saying? So I'm finding a happy balance in there. I don't think the extreme beliefs are helpful, at least not for me. They're kind of constricted. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, because I've been really challenging myself with that lately and learning to be okay with like letting go of all of this like restriction and constraint that I'm putting on myself. Like, no one else is putting it on me but myself. So it's a nice growth moment for me. I wanted to share with you guys in case you think the same, which I know a lot of you guys have the same beliefs as me. So it's okay to loosen up every once in a while. I mean, unless you have something going on with your health. Obviously, you know you best. But okay, I have to go. But I'm going to show you guys my little bump. It's not so big in the morning. I should show you guys at night. But at night, it's like popping. It's popping. But right now, Oh, it looks like right now it just looks like I'm a little pudgier. Okay, I don't know, but on camera it looks like totally normal, but I swear to you guys, there's like a little bump there. Let me see what that was. Kind of. There's a bump there, I swear. This shirt wasn't this tight before. Do you guys see how tight this is? But, yeah. Okay, I have to get ready for the dentist, so I'll do another get ready with me soon. Oh yeah, and I have favorites coming out because I've been loving some products lately, like a lot of new products, and I want to share those with you guys, some pregnancy related and some not, and I think I'll also share with you some products that I tried I didn't really like, including some sunscreens. So anyway, okay, little Petra's laying there. She's happy and thriving. She gets a lot of treats here, so I'm sure she's totally happy being here. And I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.